What's up, Facebook people? Sorry, my Christmas music just came on. Happy Monday night. Whenever you get on here, just give me a heart or a like or something. Tell me my hair looks terrible as always. Hi, Kim. And you're the only one that's popped on at the moment. Well, that I can see. I see there's 5 of you. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for getting on. Today has been a Monday. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been having a case of the Mondays. It's been good, though. Reese has surprisingly been behaving herself, so we're doing good there. Anybody else have, like, extremely dry mouth right now? I don't know what it is, but it's like dry mouth, dry eyes. Like, I've had cotton mouth all day, and I have been drinking water like a freaking camel. And my allergies are messed up, or my sinuses, or something's going on, but I cannot seem to get enough water in me to get rid of cotton mouth. And I haven't taken any, like, prescriptions or anything, so I don't know what the deal is. Hi, Tiffany. I saw your check-in post with your workout, you boss. So, tonight's really going to be a Q&A kind of thing. I'll talk a little bit about me, you know, because self-centered. But what kind of questions do y'all have? What kind of questions have you been dying to ask me? Because I know you all care about my personal life so much. And if nobody asks questions, then I'll just tell you. Because I'm an open book. A very messy open book, but an open book nonetheless. So thanks for taking time to get on. I'm excited to see all of you. I'm currently drinking very watered down cranberry juice just to have some kind of liquid that doesn't taste like water. Because I've been drinking water all day. So anybody have any questions for me? Any kind of questions that you've been dying to ask? Any kind of anything? Why is my toddler so crazy? I don't know. But if not, then I'll just kind of go into my own deal. Nope, nobody got questions? All right, well, some of the things, hold on, let me remind myself what I was going to talk about. Notes and all that jazz. Let's see. Well, first of all, we'll talk about me and where I come from and how I got into coaching. And yes, this is a Beachbody coaching thing, but it's so much more than that. And because I love all of y'all, I'm going to share with you in detail the great things about what I do as a coach. Because it was brought to my attention that, yes, I do work for an MLM, but I do things differently. And that's what I've been told in the past. And even in the past couple of weeks, they're like, yeah, you do an MLM, but it doesn't seem as schemy as the other ones. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you about that. I think that working from home is one of the best blessings that God has ever given me. And if you know my story, I got all the way to the end of nursing school, literally to the semester before I was supposed to graduate, and I failed. Not for a lack of trying, not for a lack of putting in the effort, but for some reason, nursing school was not working for me. I was excellent in clinical and had excellent clinical scores across the board, but test taking was something that I was just not good at. And now I look at it as probably one of the biggest blessings that has ever happened to me, because 2 weeks after being kicked out of nursing school, which was like the end of my life. It's what I'd been working for forever. And the only thing I'd ever seen myself doing, we found out we were pregnant with Reese. And Reese is a complete miracle baby. I went in when I was 19 and had a laparoscopy done. I don't know if that's how you say that correctly. I never say it correctly. But I had a scope done, and the doctor came back afterwards, and we reassessed my situation, and he said, you have one of the worst cases of endometriosis I have ever seen in someone so young. He was like, if you're planning on having kids, I would start trying now. And Zach and I had only been dating for like, I want to say like 4 months, and I was like, yeah, that's not happening. And I was 19. I was at the point in life where I had just finished playing college volleyball, and I was in excellent health. I was in excellent shape. I'd always taken care of myself. And I just looked at my mom and I said, there's got to be another option. There has got to be something different that I can do that I'm not doing now. Because the other option was getting these horrendous shots in the back of my neck that were going to put me in medical menopause for a year. Okay. My mom was starting to go through menopause at the time that I was having this happen, and so I was seeing menopause right before my eyes, and I was like, I'm not ready for that. I am not ready for that. But endometriosis is something that my mom had, struggled with before having kids, but nothing to the magnitude that I was experiencing it. And so I told her, I was like, we got to figure something else out. There's got to be another option. So we did our research, and turns out that the chiropractor I had been seeing all through high school for the various muscle and bone issues that happen within my body, it's like I ate my twin or something, because I have extra bones and weird shaped bones and all these different things. But his wife was actually a nutritionist, and she was certified in women's nutrition, reproductive nutrition, which I had never heard of such a thing. But I sat down with her, and she basically told me, she said, this is not going to be a walk in the park. This is going to be something that you deal with until you are done having kids. And if you want to have kids, you're going to have to do exactly what I tell you to. And I was like, okay. The diet that she put me on, and this is why I am such a nerd about nutrition. It's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because I have literally seen this change my life. But we cut out all beans, we cut out red meat, we cut out corn, we cut out any processed foods, any sugar, any caffeine, no chocolate, what else? There was like this huge list, no grain. We cut out everything. And then I went on a supplement cleanse with all the diet changes. I was eating lots of chicken and lots of vegetables. I went on a supplement cleanse, and we're talking not just one or two. We're talking like 15 to 17 supplements at a time, 3 times a day, sometimes 4. And it was to cleanse my liver. It was to get my ovaries and other reproductive organs functioning the way they should. It was getting my body to process estrogen, because at that point, my body wasn't processing estrogen. It was storing it as, it's what they call third spacing. It's where your body doesn't ever get rid of it. Go lay down. Go lay down. Your body doesn't ever get rid of it, but it stores it in the extra spaces between your organs, and it causes a lot of pain. And for me, it was causing me to have random, like, throwing up and just excruciating pain all the time. And for many women that struggle with their monthly cycle and cramps and all of that, it was like that, like times 1,000. Like, it was almost guaranteed that at that time of the month, I was not going to be able to walk. I was probably going to be throwing up. I was probably going to be running fever. Just all of these really awful things. And it was just how my body was seeing the food and the nutrition that I was taking in, or the lack of nutrition. So I worked with her closely from age 19, and like I said, my husband and I had just met, so I started right after we just met, and then we got married 4 years after that, so 4 years of this, and thank God that I was on my mother's insurance, and she had a flex card that paid for these supplements, because we are literally talking probably thousands of dollars a month just in supplements to do this. This is not even the groceries that I was having to eat. And I was in college, so thank you, Mother. I love you so much. You're the reason that you have beautiful grandchildren, kind of. So I walked through this journey, and I got tired, and I got really discouraged, because when you do something for so long and you don't really know if it's working because there's no visible results. Like, I was thin and I was in shape. I was still working out, but physically I was feeling different, but not, like, I was still struggling because I wasn't paying attention to what my body was doing. I was only concerned about, just random, like nothing that had to do, or nothing that would have to do with my future. I was in nursing school, you know, I was in college. I have hair in my mouth. I was worried about those things. And getting to the end, almost end of nursing school and failing, and just being so distraught, but then being handed a miracle, literally a freaking miracle. 2 weeks later, we found out on Christmas. Was it Christmas Eve? We found out on Christmas Eve. And my world was just completely thrown off. I was like, man, I'm not in college anymore. I wasn't at the time. I decided to take an entire semester off. Casey, I'll come back to that question. I had taken a semester off. I was going to get through the pregnancy. And thankfully with Reese, I didn't have a bad pregnancy. I had to do a lot of blood work because my blood levels were weird, and like I wasn't making clotting factor like I should have. It was super low and like way below the normal. So they were worried that if I didn't get it up, that I wasn't going to be able to have an epidural. And if I had a C-section, I'd have to be on blood transfusion the entire time, or I bleed out. Like, yay for first pregnancy. That's what you want to hear. So through my pregnancy, I didn't really do a whole lot. Physical-wise, nutrition, I kind of stuck to what I knew. Got off pretty much all of the supplements, except for a couple. And as Reese came along, I decided to go back to school. Zach was traveling. He had to go back to work 2 weeks after she was born, and I couldn't travel yet. So I was stuck at home with a newborn, and I was completely alone. And because I had convinced myself for so long this was never going to happen, because I had accepted it, and I accepted that if we were going to have children, God was going to give us another avenue, maybe adoption, maybe fostering. Like, I had fully prepared for that. So the entire 10 months, and I carried her for 10 months, the entire 10 months that I carried her, there we go, sorry, my husband called, I was in so much denial over the fact that I was actually going to have a baby. And so when I had her, this beautiful, golly, she was beautiful. I had the most perfect labor and delivery. Like, it was short and amazing, and she was here in 2 pushes, and it was just awesome. I had this beautiful, healthy baby. And I just looked at her, and I had no idea. There were no feelings of joy. There were no feelings of instant motherhood bonding. I was actually really grossed out, if I'm being honest. There was none of that. She had that with Zach. Zach stepped in, and immediately he was just so loving and so tender and just amazing. But I didn't have those feelings. And as I'm trying to nurse, and I've never nursed before, and I thought it would be natural, and it wasn't, and it hurt, and all of these things start taking over, my mind kind of goes in autopilot. And I kind of do the things that I know that I'm supposed to, but there's no emotion behind it. There's no nothing. And as we get home, I'm dealing with the pain and the recovery of childbirth, which no one prepared me for, and dealing with the lack of sleep and the oversupply of milk, which many of you say that's a blessing, but I had like an oversupply of milk. And if I was not trying to get her to latch, I was pumping. And if maybe I got sleep in there somewhere, I got sleep somewhere. But when my husband went back out of town, there was no help. Our parents are both still working. Our sisters and brothers have jobs and are working, and there was no one. I'm sure I could have called some people, but I'm the kind of person, and you should know this by now, I don't like asking for help. I don't like admitting that I have a problem. And like I said, I'd just been through nursing school. I knew what was going on. I knew that what I was dealing with was clinically defined as postpartum depression, but I was not going to admit that, because I had convinced myself that postpartum depression was something that these wacko people with no life say they have because, you know, they want attention. That's not the truth. Postpartum depression is one of the hardest things I have ever experienced in my life. And I'm looking at doing some pretty extreme things with this next baby so I don't have to go through that. Because it's just, I can't even describe it, but I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. But I needed something for me. I needed to figure out a way to find that passion and that drive I'd had before that had got me out of bed in the morning and that had made me go to work with purpose. I love people. I loved working. And so when we decided that I was going to stay home so that I could travel, I think that's part of it. It's because I went from working 40 plus hours a week to being home and being solely the sole carer for this tiny baby that couldn't tell me what was wrong with her and was crying constantly and never slept, you know, and I just felt trapped. And so brilliant me decided to start school again in January. Okay, go to bed. Go lay down. Yes, you can. Go lay down. Yeah. Brilliant me decided to start school in January, knowing that I was still struggling with. That is. And Zach and I had talked, and I told him one night, I just kind of snapped, and I was like, something's wrong with me. Like, there is something that is not right. And so I went to the doctor, and I got the antidepressants, and it was one of the most horrifying, degrading moments of my life, because it was literally something that I could not control. And I felt like having to take a pill for it was just beneath me. But I had finally reached the point where I could just not take it anymore. And so, go lay down. Go get in my bed and lay down. I'll be in there in just a minute. And I'm not saying that because there's anything wrong with that. I'm not. If you know you have a problem and you know that something is just not right, seek help. But I will say that quickly after starting school, I had kept most of the weight because I was nursing, and I wanted to feel good again. I felt awful. My knees hurt, my back hurt, none of my clothes fit. I was walking around in oversized clothes constantly, never had a desire to do my hair or my makeup. And I told him, I was like, I just want to do something for myself. I just need to feel good about myself. And I think that if I can do a home workout, I think it'll help. And he was like, why don't you just go to the gym? And if you have children, small children at that, born during flu season, you know that the grossest place you can take them is out into public where people are nasty. And so I was super paranoid about germs. Still kind of am. But I didn't want to have to deal with the hassle of getting up and loading her in the car and taking her there. And I like to go in the mornings, and there's not anybody there in the mornings, and just all of these things. And then it's like I get there and I'd have to pump, and then like it would be a 4-hour trip by the time it was done. I was like, no, I want to do a home workout. And he said, no, because you have bought home workouts before and you never did them. And that was true. It was the truth. I had bought home workouts and I had never done them. And I said, okay. And I bought it on my credit card, and I got it in. And I had started doing it at home secretly. And ladies, I don't encourage this, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. I had started doing it at home. And I started and I quit. And I started and I cried and I screamed and I was so sore and I was so out of shape. And then I finally was like, F this, I'm going to do it all the way. I'm either going to do it all the way or I'm not going to do it all the way. So I just decided to commit to it. I committed to using the containers, which if you've seen the cute little containers, they teach you about portion control. It's not that you're confined to the containers, but they teach you how to eat the right portion sizes based on your body weight when you start and based on your activity level. It's a lot more food than a lot of people think. And I knew what foods to eat. I just didn't know how much to eat. And I did lots of videos on this when I was still nursing with Reese, and I'll do it with the next baby on how to change that up as you are breastfeeding to get the required needs. Go lay down. You can go get in your crib. Go lay down. She doesn't like to stay in bed. So I started doing it, and I refused to drink Shakeology. One, because nobody told me how to mix it, and I don't like shakes. Shocking. I know, right? Nobody told me how to mix it. So I was trying to mix it in one of those little shaker cups with water and just a little bit of ice. I don't do chunks. I don't do thick textures. I don't do grainy or powdery or any of that. It has to be blended. It has to be cold. And I have to have a little bit of almond milk in there along with my water. Call me a diva. Most of the time there has to be peanut butter in there. It is what it is. So nobody told me that. So I was getting this stuff every month and it sat on a shelf. And after my first round, I did not lose a single pound, but I lost over 18 inches all over my body. I was feeling better. I was sleeping better. I could tell that mentally and physically, Casey, this goes back to your question, mentally and physically, I was different. And when we got back on the road with my husband and I was like, I need a place to work out. And he was like, what do you mean you need a place to work with your husband? I was like, I need a place to work out. I was like, well, I ordered. And so finally it came out that I had ordered the DVDs and I was doing them. And I told him, I was like, I've lost 18 inches all over my body. And he was like, what? And because it'd been a while, I wasn't traveling as much as I was before recent. 21 days, that's 3 weeks. So, you know, sometimes I wasn't seeing him for an entire month. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I went down a pant size and, you know, I'm feeling really good. I was like, my legs are starting to look better. I'm starting to feel just energetic. And he could tell simply by talking to me and by looking at me that so much had changed. My energy level, my depression level, my anxiety level. I have anxiety like nobody's business. And my anxiety was the one thing that kept me in the house for so long after she was born. Because I was anxious about people and I was anxious about getting out and I wasn't comfortable nursing in public. And the fact that she was like the worst kid ever to try to nurse because she couldn't latch. All of these things combined up to why I stayed home and why I started working out at home. So fast forward to, I did 6 or 7 rounds of the 21-day fix. I lost 50 pounds and over 30 something inches in 6, I don't know how many weeks that is or how many months that is. I think it's like 5 or 6 months. I lost an incredible amount of weight, and what changed was that I started adding in Shakeology. And the first time I started adding it in, I started having headaches and kind of feeling nauseous and like having these weird issues. Well, it was because I was taking my supplements again. Not all of them, but I was taking a good portion of them. And Shakeology has so many vitamins and superfoods that I was taking in pill forms as well, that I was over vitamining myself, which can actually cause bad reactions. It can actually cause you to you can overdose on vitamins. I don't know if y'all knew that, but I was getting like 2-3 times the amount of vitamins that I should have been. And so it was causing heart palpitations and nausea and fatigue and dizziness and all of these things. So I went back to my nutritionist and I showed her and I said, what do you think? She didn't necessarily approve of it at first. And I don't know if she still approves of it quite the way that I would want her to, but she approves of me taking care of myself. And a lot of the things in there were things that I was taking. So now I went from spending almost $1,000 a month in supplements to keep this body going good to $100, right at $100 a month. Plus I take fish oil, I take a vitamin D because I don't ever go outside, and I take a folic acid and B12 pregnancy thing. And I'll take that after she's born too, just to keep going. But I have drank Shakeology through my pregnancy, and it serves its purpose as my prenatal now. So what is the difference in this company? Why have I stuck with it? Because honestly, I can't tell you the amount of people that told me that I would give it up by now. Quite honestly, I couldn't count it on my hands and toes. It's so many. The difference is the community. The difference is it's not a focus on sales. It's a focus on teams, and it's a focus on family, and it's a focus on leaving someone better than you found them. I don't talk to people just because I want to make a sale. I could give 2 rips about that. I really like to put gas in my car and to do things like that, and it's nice. But I do it because I have a passion for people. And I do it because it gives me a chance to share more than just a workout. I can talk to moms that are in my same walk of life, but I can also share my faith because my team is very faith-based. I share my faith just about as much as I share stories about Reese. It gives me an avenue to talk about who I really am. It gave me the opportunity to step outside of my anxiety that locks me in my home 90% of the time, and to get on live with people that I've never met before, but I can see at least 6 names of people that I talk to all the time. And if I were to see them in public, I would talk to them. Now, I'm awkward. Like, I will not deny that. I'm truly awkward. If you ever walk up to me at Walmart or church or anywhere else, I'm extremely awkward, and that's just who I am. I've always been like that. But I care about people. Do Beachbody and Shakeology come together? Yes, Casey, that is, Shakeology is exclusive to Beachbody. You cannot buy it outside of Beachbody. Even if you buy it off Amazon, it's still coming from Beachbody. You're just not getting a coach. Okay. But the difference is Beachbody focuses on personal development. And y'all see me talk about the personal development books I read. It's not just self-help books. There are books about balancing busy, and that has more to do with being able to say no to things. The 5 Habits of a Woman That Doesn't Quit. These are Christian-based books that help me focus on where I'm at in life now. And as my story is changing, you got to turn it and then push. These are books that are helping me walk through motherhood right now. I've got, because of this Beachbody opportunity, I have stepped out of my comfort zone and started a group called Women in Christ. And this year was our first year. It started in January, but as a result of being a coach and wanting to get out there and reach more people, and share a little bit about myself a little bit more in hopes that I would find someone like me. Huh? Turn the handle and push the door. You can do it. And it has radically changed. There are over 2,000 women in that group. Women that I may never meet face to face, but I'm hoping and praying that through something I've done or said, that God's going to speak to one of them. And that's what I hope in all of this. I hope that in everything I do, and the people I talk to, and the women that work with me, that they are seeing me glorify God, not make a sale, not, celebrate myself. Because any success I have in this business is as a result of my team. I am not a self-made woman. Anything that I do is because of them. And any good coach will tell you that. We don't achieve anything by ourselves. And it is why I have been pushing so hard since coming back from being so sick with pregnancy to, hold on, I gotta help her. Since being sick with pregnancy, to help more people, because it's what I really missed whenever I was sick. It's gonna get dark, hold on. Okay, go lay down. Leave the door open. It's what I missed while being sick. I miss the conversations. I miss getting to check in on people. Sorry, boob shot. I miss getting to check in on people. I miss getting to love on people daily. And I will tell you, my absolute freaking favorite part of my job is checking in on people. Getting their result pictures, seeing their measurements change, and being able to celebrate that. It's getting to celebrate the friendships that I've made in this business. Katie Carter is one of my favorite people in the entire world because she just gets me. And she's willing to call me out just as much as I'm willing to call her out. And I love that because I've not really had anyone ever do that for me that was not related to me. But I have to tell you this. If y'all have any questions, ask your questions. But I have to tell you, one of the most touching things that has happened over the last month was working with a woman who has not signed up with me. I'm not her coach. Her name is Ariel. And every time I read these messages, I get teary-eyed. Because I have been there, and I have walked in her shoes a little bit differently, but I've walked in her shoes. And we've been working together for a month. She was a referral to me from another person, and I love referrals. If you have friends, refer them. I love new people. But she was a referral, and I take referrals seriously because that means someone has put their faith and trust in me enough to send someone to me. It's a huge deal to me. But she came to me, and I did what I do with everyone. I said, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve? What's your nutrition look like? What's your daily schedule look like? You know, do you work out regularly or do you not? Do you like to work out? And I always say that's a loaded question because usually nobody loves to work out. And she kind of told me her story, and I said, what is your goal? And kind of got an answer like I usually get in the beginning before we get to know people. Well, I want to lose weight, and something, I don't remember what she said, maybe like go down jean sizes or something like that. I always ask when people give me a weight goal that they give me something different, because weight does not always determine what you look like. I weigh 148 or 49 now. I've only gained 8 or 9 pounds with this pregnancy, but I look like I weigh 160 because of how I'm carrying this baby. And so it's just a matter, it's not about weight. Weight doesn't matter. We're all built differently. We all carry muscle differently. Weight doesn't matter. But in the past month, I got her pictures, got her measurements. She has been killing it. Going to the gym. She's not even doing a program. She's going to the gym. She's checking in with me on her meals. We talk about it on Sundays. And yesterday, she sent me her progress pictures and her measurements. And she was disappointed. And I almost cried because she has done so much in the past month. She's only lost 4 pounds. And I say only because that's the way that she said it. But she has lost over 15.5 inches. And I'm emotional about this because she only saw that 4 pounds. She looked at those pictures and she said it wasn't good enough. Sorry. And I have been there. I know what it is like to be locked in that mindset of not feeling like enough. Oh, sorry. And it made me hurt for her. It made me realize why I am so passionate about what I do. It made me realize why, now more than ever, I will never stop doing this. Even if Beachbody goes away, I will never stop loving people this way because she is only looking at what the world tells her is enough. And I asked her, I said, what are you so afraid of? What is holding you back from seeing that you have done something awesome? And she said that I compare myself to other people. Woo, I'll get it under control in a second. Woo. But she said, I allow my comparisons to keep me trapped. I compare myself to other people constantly. I look at, how someone loses weight versus how I lose weight, and I see that I'm not doing it fast enough. Ladies and gentlemen, losing weight, losing any amount of weight is not going to happen overnight. If you have a lot of weight to lose, it's going to take a long time. And sometimes you're going to lose more weight than others. But as you start making that transformation, as you start making that transformation and you're diligent in it, those numbers are still going to fluctuate. But it's more about how you feel. Do you feel good? Do you feel like you're making a difference? Do you feel more energetic or confident? And that is why I love working with the women that I do, because I know what it's like not to have confidence. I know what it's like to wish somebody would come along and see the work that I was doing and congratulate me for that, even the small numbers. And so when I see things that aren't necessarily all physical changes, but that are mental breakthroughs, I celebrate that. You know, I spent today working on that and seeing people show up in different ways. I run accountability groups most of the time with other coaches because I want people to see what accountability looks like. It's not just checking in with a workout. Today we did a hardcore check-in where it was like, where are you at? Why are you struggling? Why are you not showing up? What's been going on? And people were having these breakthroughs that were so much, like so far beyond just weight loss. And so, yes, I'm a health and fitness coach. Yes, I love helping people lose weight and inspire that confidence enough to make a lifestyle change. But it's never going to stop there for me. It's never just going to be about weight loss. I'm not in a business of making people skinny. I'm in a business of helping people love themselves and to work with the body that God has created for them and that's unique to them, and to help them see their worth. That is what I do as a coach. And it's why I'm so passionate about it. And it's why each month I'm trying to find 5-6 people. I only work with women. Sorry, guys. 5 to 6 women a month to start that relationship with, to be that accountability partner for. I didn't have that when I started. I didn't have that group. I didn't have, that close-knit accountability. So I created it for myself. And thank God I was placed in the team that I am, because that's something that we focus on. We make it a safe place to come and to share your struggles and to talk about the fact that, you're not perfect and you need help too. And just, I can't even explain it. But let's go for fat, guys. There's nothing for us. Sorry, Kyle. I do have friends that work with guys. I'm just not one.
I need paper.
You need paper? Here, sit on the floor and color paper. There you go. Or go sit at your desk. But if you ask me why I love this business and why I'm continuing to do this throughout pregnancy, even when, this is the time when most people are like, oh, I'm pregnant, let's take a break. For me, this is push time, because it's not that I'm afraid of gaining weight. I gotta say, mentally, I'm still having a hard time seeing how my body's changing. But it's about inspiring people, women, pregnant women that have been told that working out while you're pregnant is bad, or that doing this while you're pregnant is bad, or that all of those people with such strong opinions that never seem to be quiet. It's learning how to really kind of take that and set it here and figure out who you are. Figure out what you want. Figure out what you want motherhood to look like for you, because I definitely didn't take the time to do that. I just kind of waited till it was thrust upon me. So that was a lot. I'm sorry I ugly cried. I'm not a pretty crier. I'm actually really sweating now because I'm nervous by the fact that you all saw me cry, but I'll get over it. But what I do as a coach goes far beyond selling someone a product. Goes far beyond just drinking a shake or just eating, kale. I freaking hate kale. I'm never eating kale unless it's mixed in something I can't taste. It goes far beyond that. It goes to making mental and emotional and spiritual transformations. That is what I'm about. Beachbody has given me the avenue and the platform to do that, and I am so thankful for that. But the success that I have in this business has to do with the people that I work with. Has to do with the women that reach out to me because they need a change. And maybe they saw something. Hopefully they're seeing this live video and they think, that's my story. That's me. Because that's what I got. That's what happened to me. I was inspired by someone else's story. And so that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here for. I'm never going to help someone get skinny, but I am going to help them learn to love themselves, and I'm going to help them learn to implement those healthy changes that are going to give them the kind of lifestyle and pant size that they want, because life is far beyond a number that's on a scale. That's a liar anyway. So if anybody has any questions, post them below. I'll answer them. I'm going to get this kid into bed. Thank y'all for staying on so long for me. Thank y'all for all of the love and all of the support through all of this. I cannot tell you what it means to me. I cannot tell you what it means to have so many awesome people in my corner, people that I've never met before that support me. Just love it. Just freaking love it. Makes my world go round, because this is my job and I love it. I hope you guys have had a wonderful Monday. If you haven't, go kick back, watch a holiday movie, and just relax, because tomorrow is Tuesday, and Tuesday is Terrific Tuesday. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all.